Hey everyone, I've been following and as time has permitted participating in an exchange in the comments section under my God Killed Jesus video, link down there. The exchange has come to focus on questions about the Christian God's justice, love, and grace. In a nutshell, a Christian posted a comment in response to a question about why the Christian God needs a sacrifice in order to forgive sins. This Christian wrote in pertinent part, quote, "Why is a sacrifice required? Because God is just. A price must be paid. Sin will be punished." In another comment, the same Christian wrote, quote, "God being just means it's against his nature and thus impossible for God not to punish sin." This Christian went on to give an analogy that it seems he believed demonstrated that justice requires punishment of wrongdoing. He wrote, quote, "Suppose a rapist murderer is proven guilty of heinous crimes and even admits his guilt before a judge. The judge then declares the guilty criminal not guilty. What would you think about that judge? Is he just?" And of course, the suggestion is that such a judge would not be just. I posted a response. No, that is, no, on those facts, such a judge would not be just. Would you regard the judge as just if he picked someone other than the guilty defendant to serve the defendant's sentence? The Christian responded, quote, "You are right in saying that God sending someone else, his one and only Son, to die in our place for our sins is not justice at all. Jesus Christ's death and punishment at the cross was God's grace to us sinners. If God were only just without being loving and full of grace as well, then everyone would spend eternity in hell because we deserve it." I responded by asking, "So your God's justice is inconsistent with his love and grace? Is that correct?" This question seems to have set off a confetti bomb of confusion in this Christian's mind, and it's clear that he hasn't really thought through and recognized the non sequiturs in his own claims. For example, God demands a sacrifice for sin because God is just, but the sacrifice is not a just act. All that aside, this exchange raises questions about the Christian God's purported justice, love, and grace that I'd like to put to Christians generally. I'll borrow and embellish the Christian's judge hypothetical in order to do so. So a judge has before him a defendant who is a convicted, indeed admitted, murderer and rapist. As the judge is about to sentence the murderer-rapist, the judge says, "You know what? I want to give you another chance, Mr. Murderer-Rapist, but your horrible crimes cannot go unpunished. Therefore, it is my will that my daughter serve your sentence on your behalf. I will accept that as punishment and satisfaction for your crimes." The judge's daughter is brought into the courtroom informed of her father's will, and in response to her father's will, in obedience to it, she volunteers to serve the murderer-rapist's sentence. Boom! Off to prison she goes. The murderer-rapist effusively thanks the judge for sparing him the punishment he deserved and resolves never to murder, rape, or do anything wrong ever again. Christians, has the judge in this hypothetical acted justly? If so, why? If not, why not? And how, if at all, does this differ in principle from what you believe your God did with the death of Jesus? No doubt I'll have some follow-up questions to ask, but I'd like to see Christians respond to what has been presented so far. Thanks a lot.